Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I got a re-update actually on this video. It's my Shaddoll Dinosaurs once again. I decided to try out some new strategies with it and bump it back up to 45 cards since this deck, like I said on the last video, is really good at grinding itself out. So, but the thing is, the deck kind of grinds itself out a little too quickly, and I usually lose all my resources fairly fast. So, I still want to keep the grinding power, but still keep it to where I can still keep my Shaddoll play live, as well as my Dinosaur plays. So that's what I kind of came up around, and plus, running at 40 cards, I found that I was breaking a lot more than I should have. There were times I kept opening with all three Ultimate Conductor Tyrannos, and I found that was really bad, and I was like, okay, never mind, I need to bump this deck up back to where it was, because last time it wasn't that bricky, and it worked so well, and now it was breaking out more than it should have, so I fixed it up, so I apologize for the last time, and let me just show you what I did to the deck this time. And I also made some new changes on the side deck as well, so hopefully you guys will enjoy this. So starting off, playing 3 copies of Soul Eating Oviraptor, gotta play it at 3. It's your Foolish Burial and your Searcher, so yeah, he's like Fossil Day and Foolish at the same time. So, best card in the whole deck. Next up, I'm actually playing only 2 copies of Ultimate Conductor Tyranno now. I had to make some room for Dino Wrestler Pancratos, which we come to next. But Ultimate Conductor Tyranno is really strong against Thunder Dragons, basically just Book of Eclipse everything, and you can send your opponent's monsters to the graveyard. And Pancratos, better than Cyber Dragon in my opinion, just as a free summon as long as your opponent controls more monsters than you do. Level 7, so easy double evolution target, and plus he can pop cards by trooping himself. 2 copies of Overtex Quatless gets you your pill if you pitch it to the graveyard, which you have multiple ways of being able to do that, so it's really not hard. And for the 1-ofs, 1 Giant Rex, 1 Miscellaneousaurus, which was at 2, and 1 Dogoron. It's a searchable kaiju. It's a good way to, tribute out your opponent's problematic monsters like Gumblar Dragon and stuff like that. So yeah, you definitely want to play at least 1 kaiju in this deck. And it's a fire attribute, so makes me my free Il Shaddoll Grista. For the Shaddoll engine, playing 5 Shaddoll monsters, 1 Beast, just got my hands on a super rare, so I'm really happy with that. 1 Shaddoll Dragon, 1 Shaddoll Falco, 1 Hedgehog, and 1 Squamata. And the one card I like to use sometimes to either get my Quatless play or my Shaddoll play going, bringing back Armageddon Knight. I know he's at 1, but he can still do quite a lot for you as long as you can bait out that Ash Blossom. And generally, Armageddon Knight I typically use to bait out my opponent's Ash Blossom and then just go into my real place afterwards. Because you don't want your Shaddoll Fusion to get hit with Ash Blossom, you don't want your Double Evolution Pill to get hit with Ash Blossom. So, yeah. Which, speaking of which, going into our hand traps, y'all already know this. 3 Ash, 2 Droll, and 2 Ghost Ogre. All really great hand traps. If you can't get Ash, bump up your Ghost Ogre to 3, and run Effect Veiler to 2 at least. That way, or if you want to bump up your Drone Lockbird to 3, you could do that as well. Either way, you gotta fill in the blanks. Alright, so moving on to spells, since this is the Shaddoll variant, of course I'm going to be playing 3 Shaddoll Fusion, 3 Falsadeg, I'm hoping I can get the super rares soon, 3 Double Evolution Pills. Really amazing cards. And of course, gotta give yourself some protection because hand traps can kill this deck as well. 3 copies of Called by the Grave, so I'm really happy this is back up to 3. 2 Allure Darkness for draw power, but as well as hand destruction. I like hand destruction because, your opponent gets to get the effect of it too, where he sends 2 cards and both of y'all get to draw 2 cards. But I like it because it gives you a general idea of what you're up against. That way you can work around it. So forcing your opponent out of 2 cards of his hand is a great way to, work around the strategy and be prepared. For the 1-ofs, got 1 Rhoda, so you're practically playing 2 copies of Armageddon Knight. 1 Super Poly, got this off OTS Pack 9. I actually pulled a Thunder Dragon Matrix, but a friend of mine, shoutouts to Tony for trading his Super Poly for that Thunder Dragon Matrix. I'm not building Thunder Dragons, but he plays them, so I was really happy to get Super Poly at Super Rare. 1 Foolish Burial, and of course 1 Monster Reborn. Alright, so moving on to the extra deck. I also had to change up the extra deck just slightly too because I realized that there were things that needed to be done, what the proper way to use Super Poly on now, and yeah, it really helps out now. So starting off, we're going to be playing 2 copies of Shaddoll Winda. This primarily locks both players from special summoning one monster at a time, or per turn, I'm sorry. And it's really good because, like, if you play Shaddoll Fusion without getting hit with an Ash or something, it's practically a first turn Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, because you generally pitch like Overtext Squatless plus a Shaddoll monster, get a plus off both those cards. Get your pill, play pill, get your free Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, just like that. So you got, not only do you have a board of Shaddoll Winda that your opponent has to work around, but they also have a 35k beats deck that can Book of Eclipse them, so it's a really hard board to get around. Got Shaddoll Winda, which negates the effects of any of special summon monsters, but you have to have a Shaddoll card in hand, which generally isn't impossible. You can literally, since Hedgehog searches out, you're bound to get everything you need. Shaddoll Grista, which negates special summons, and it's basically Thunder King Ryo, only it doesn't tribute itself. Just does the same thing as Shaddoll Shekinaga. You just have to have at least one Shaddoll card in hand and just send it to the graveyard afterwards. For Super Poly targets, got Mud Dragon of the Swamp, and I like it because it also changes its attribute. So, yeah, it's a good way to, to still be able to like get into your Shaddoll plays faster. For the Xyz monsters, got Gustav Max Cannon. Someone was asking me, why this? Well, of course you gotta play this. It burns you for 2,000 points. It's really good for time rolls. Got a Bish Dweller, 1 Dolka, Logia, 1 Solemn Strike, 1 Solemn Judgment. So, pretty standard choices. For the links, going with Wee Witch's Apprentice. Most of your deck is dark, so shouldn't be hard to summon. 1 Pentastag, which gives your Ultimate Conductor Tyranno piercing damage. And I took off, and if y'all, by now y'all have already noticed, I took off the Utopia package. It's still a good choice, but I decided to just take it off entirely because I found something that was really good for this deck, and it synergizes so well with Giant Rex specifically. Topologic Trisbana. This card is so good against Ultrageist, Sky Strikers, Trickstars. So if you summon a monster to one of its link areas, you get to banish that monster and banish as many spells and traps as possible, and if you do, you inflict 500 points of damage to your opponent. This is crazy because you can, if you summon Giant Rex, for example, to, let's say here, not only do you get to banish Giant Rex, but you get to banish every spell and trap out there, and since this deck's not primarily back row heavy at all, we don't actually, in fact, this deck doesn't even use any, like, back row, this just, like, hurts your opponents, like, really badly, and plus Giant Rex brings itself back once it's banished. So Trisbana is definitely a great option. I highly recommend this. Once again, shout outs to Tony for suggesting this. He definitely gave me this great idea, so gotta give him thanks for that. Alright, so moving on to the Ghost Reaper targets. We got 1 Kagari, Isolde, definitely a great reprint from Soul Fusion Special Edition, so definitely play that. And 1 Ultrageist Hextia. Alright, so moving on to the side deck real quick. Playing 3 copies of Ghost Reaper, of course. A new spicy tech card I decided to play, which also acts as a hand trip for me. Apprentice Illusion Magician. Reason being is because, not because she searches Dark Magician, no, we're not playing Dark Magician, but her ability is so generic towards dark spellcasters. Shaddoll Winda is a dark spellcaster along with the regular Shaddoll monsters. So, during damage calculation, you can discard this, practically honest. Gives any other dark spellcaster 2,000 attack and defense points. Originally, I thought this only worked on Dark Magicians, but apparently no, it works on all dark spellcasters. That's my fault for not reading the card properly, but when I saw that, I was like, huh, and I tried it out, it works. It works so perfectly well with this deck. And plus, sometimes Ultrageist like to use that, what do you call it? The Secret Village of Spellcasters strategy, so if you run this on the side, you can bypass that effect where you can just, like, activate your spells. I mean, plus you already have the Shaddoll monsters anyway, but they're flip monsters, so you don't really want to normal summon them. You want to set them. So, but yeah, Princess Illusion, definitely an excellent tech card. I highly recommend it. Moving on, playing 3 Mind Controls, primarily for Thunder Dragon matchups. 2 Twin Twisters for back row decks, and also, since I don't have impermanence, I was going to run Effect Veiler, but I found another good option. Forbidden Chalice, since you can activate it during your own turn. So like cards like Colossus, just give them power boost, but at least you can negate its effects to where you can like start searching out your cards again. And finally, Red Reboot for anything that's like trap heavy decks like Paleo and Ultra Guy Seed, or True Draco since they like to run floodgates, and that's pretty much it. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this, and yeah, I'll catch you guys again on the next video.